if you're a retailer or you're a grocery store and your price of tomatoes goes up, you're gonna most likely raise the prices that you're selling it to all of your customers that come in, come into your store. But I'm wondering if you can speak to, what I'm also experiencing, is that and you write about this in your book, when I go to my clients today, I mentioned earlier how this is not the inflation that we saw back in the 70s and 80s, but it's still inflation. And one of the things that a lot of the smaller and mid-sized businesses didn't have, only the largest companies didn't have back then, but have now, is that there's a lot more data, and I'm seeing a lot of my own clients more target their price increases, whether it's a one-time, whether it's a step increase, but they're targeting it. They're breaking it down by product line. They're breaking it down by customers as well. I have some cases where I have clients that are increasing prices for one customer and for the same product, having a much less of an increase for another customer because they're still getting enough margin and they want to protect that relationship. So I guess my question is, Herman, and again, using your book as a basis, how important is it to break down your data and rather than giving an across the board price increase, focus, on customers and products and margins? Is that, does that explain my question?
Yes, very well. The music in pricing plays in price differentiation. And I can use a very simple image or picture to describe that.
Okay.
If you have the price and the sales, and then you have the demand curve, these three variables describe a triangle. If you have only one so-called uniform price, you cut only a rectangle out of the triangle, which means you leave 50% of the profit potential on the table. And the challenge is to get away from the rectangle to the triangle. And one of the important dimensions which you mentioned is that you differentiate your prices according to customers. And Adam has a nice example which he brought into the book. Maybe Adam can describe that, how we adjust price increases depending on the margins of the past.
Please do. Adam, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Gene, I think your core point is spot on. We talk about how a difference between this inflation and the one in the 70s is digital, and all the data and information that are at our fingertips to do a little bit more today than we could have back then.